And then I was leaving for a trip, and then this person forged my signature on the letter saying that I was moving out. The landlord called me, and he was like, we got this letter. But it was so weird because you said you were not leaving, and I was like, that's correct.
She said, what?
How could they do something like that?
Are you serious?
What a thirsty MFer.
Not good. She's absolutely dead to me.
That's because she died.
I'm Sterling Mulberry.
And I'm Blair Payton. And welcome to
Bad Behavior, a morally questionable podcast
where two unqualified friends,
two unhinged comedians,
determine once and for all what is good
and what is bad.
Hello, and welcome to Bad Behavior. I'm Blair Payton.
And I'm Sterling Mulberry. In each episode of the podcast, a guest shares a morally questionable story, and we decide if they were in the right or the wrong.
You know what feels right?
What?
2 weeks in a row, we're in the studio together.
Oh, it does feel right.
Do you want to hold my hand?
Does. Yeah.
Because we have that option now.
We so do. And that's amazing.
That is amazing.
It's truly like times a billion how much more fun it is to be in the studio.
Yeah.
Because
your internet sucks.
My internet is so bad. My internet, I would love a listener to call in and tell me this. My internet is just blurry, but I pay $90 a month. Help? That's what I should write in.
I feel like that is
write
enough.
Into an Ask Amy column or something. Help. My internet is $90 a month and there's no other providers I can use. Monopoly.
Backup option, go to Reddit. Go to Reddit and say, listen, my internet.
Female 29 has terrible internet.
Yeah.
No, okay, so as I was coming up to New York, I said, you know what? Let me be healthy. I'm going to make myself a little salad. Chopping away.
Yeah.
Lettuce. All of a sudden, ow. I look at my lettuce. I've chopped my finger off. It was mostly just a nail.
Oh, thank
but
God.
I was so disturbed. Obviously, I'm screaming for my parents immediately. I lay down on the floor because I say I'm going to pass out. I've chopped off my finger.
What kind of knife were we using?
Huge.
Like
I didn't
horror
know.
film huge?
Yeah. Well, yeah.
Okay.
I mean, yeah.
Some thick lettuce.
And I kept being like, of course, I'm like, Dad, why would you sharpen the knife this sharp? You know I only
Your
use...
dad sharpens knives?
You're supposed to sharpen your knives.
I was never raised in a household where we did that.
So you just have blunt
Yeah.
knives.
It
your
takes
whole
us
life?
forever to cut steak. But we still have our fingers.
That's true. Anyway, so then obviously I'm lying on the floor and I'm like, hey, Mom, do you think I have to go to the hospital? And
Can I
was like,
see it? Can I see the finger?
yeah. Okay, here's the thing. It has now been like 5 or 6 days. So just know it's been on a healing journey and I've been really...
Well, how long is the growth span? How long does it take for a nail to grow?
From tip to top?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Okay. Well, let me see it.
It's not. I didn't cut off the whole nail. I'm a Leo, so
Okay,
I'm
so
still
you're
a little
dramatic.
dramatic.
Let me see.
Well, now it's doing better. I
Oh,
know.
my God,
I
that
know.
is
It's really
truly-
bad.
that
No,
is-
I literally
Was blood squirting out?
blood was coming out, and I literally.
How much? A quart?
Yeah, of course. I get to New York and I'm staying with my friend. And I was like, hey, I'm obviously disturbed by what happened to me. Can you change, my bandage? Which was ultimately just one single Band-Aid.
My God.
I go, sit down. I don't want you to pass out. She opens it. She's like, Sterling, this is the smallest cut I've ever seen in my life. Anyway, so that's kind of something medical that's been going on in my world.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for your bravery because
I know.
Honestly, we joke about this because, we need levity in serious times like this.
Yeah.
But to share your struggle with the audience. So someone out there could be like, hey, I tried to make a salad and I lost a fifth of my nail and I'm scared too. So people need to hear these stories.
You just have to remember, that is disturbing to look down, see finger in salad.
Well, again, your finger was not detached from you in the salad. It was some of your nail.
I would say this, the famous phrase, tomato, tomato. We really are so lucky to have a very old dear friend on the podcast today.
How old? We did sketch comedy for 20 people with this person.
Yes, and sometimes less than that.
Well, 20 people over the span of 4 years, I'm saying. Not in one night. That's crazy.
He is a writer for Reductress,
Yes.
The Onion, The New Yorker even, and a comedian in New York
when did
City.
he get The New Yorker?
Oh, he is getting in that New Yorker all the time.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
I should talk to him more. Well, I'll do it today.
Anyways, we are so lucky today to have our dear friend on. Please welcome Brandon Follick. Well,
oh my goodness.
Oh my God, Brandon.
Can you believe it?
I can't.
It's a reunion.
This is bigger than Friends.
Do you think this is bigger than the Friends reunion?
Yeah, rating-wise, absolutely.
Absolutely.
Oh my God, I have something to tell you guys.
Yeah.
What?
Okay, you guys can't tell anyone, but I just heard some gossip on the street.
Okay.
Huge. This is going to have to do with Friends. Okay, apparently,
Yeah.
Barack and Michelle have separated. And Barack is dating Jennifer Aniston.
Shut up. That is such a load of crap.
Do we think that's real?
How would your friend know this?
I know. She's like, well, I was on the streets of Hollywood. And I was like,
He was in Hollywood? Out
They're
and about?
never seen together. That's so interesting.
But he's got connections on how to
but
cover it
don't
up.
tell anyone. But also, she didn't tell me.
Well, guys, you didn't hear anything here first.
Yeah.
But
reporting live
do a big
from
reaction.
Page 6 HQ.
Yeah. Anyways, Brandon, we are so thrilled to finally have you on the podcast.
And I think people really want to know how you know us.
Well, I started as a fan, as a listener. I campaigned really hard. I was so violent in the community comments.
Yeah.
They actually hired a community moderator. Can I look at the camera?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
Sorry,
absolutely.
I'm so used to being on set.
Yeah, find your light.
I'm never talking to Village. I'm always
Sure.
Oh, you think we're okay? I love that.
No, we're talent.
You've just been in the entertainment industry for so long. It's just so like ingrained in you.
Yeah. Someone I met for the first time like a year ago, so that I reminded them of the Gerber baby. And I was like,
Did you ask them to expand
Wait,
on why?
actually,
No,
I hate to admit this. I don't think you really look like the Gerber baby.
Can you suck on your thumb real quick?
No.
Wait, for how much?
Yeah, for how much? I feel like if you were the Gerber baby, we would like, because like, you know, when you meet someone and they like randomly are like, oh, drinks are on me like all the time, and you're like, okay, you must have been like the Gerber baby. You know, it's like
there's something unassuming about them too, because they went to like Notre Dame and not Harvard.
we met in the year of our Lord
2017.
Yeah.
2017?
Yeah.
2017.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, because I blazed through those core classes, baby.
Hell yeah.
Wow. We met in the
Because I was an intern.
Do you feel like being an intern at the UCB has like paved the way for your status in Hollywood today? That you'd be nowhere without this? Because I feel like we were sold the promise that the UCB would get us literally anywhere.
Yeah,
and
we would be
everywhere.
Broad City.
And now we are everywhere. You know, it's like we're all so tired because actually we have never worked more. And so you joined the sketch group with ultimately us.
Yes.
And we traveled the world together. As a sketch group.
Yeah.
We literally
I was just talking about it the other day. And
Yeah?
actually, I even put it in an application for a little program I applied to.
with our names included, or
And they're like, who is this again?
I don't think I included your names, but I gave everyone credit for what work they did.
Okay.
that's good.
Yeah.
You attributed all of our individual sketches.
Yeah.
Now here's the question.
Yeah, is it fine that I registered all our sketches with the guild?
So something that was kind of like, I would say actually is still happening to this day that's really like been harmful to my career is that we had a group name that actually Brandon and I joined after the group was created, so we had no say.
True.
That was called Sister Wives, was the sketch group.
We were
And
sold on the name. We
here's
were
the
stuck
problem.
on it.
Also, I want to say when I was in the group, I had no say about anything. I was given no creative control, and the power dynamics were so fucked up.
Yeah, and that's true, and that's why you're on today.
Yeah.
We're gonna
Me.
finally work it out on the
Silence.
remix
Yeah.
today.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, girls.
But basically there was I've told people over the years, oh, I was in the sketch group. What's the name? They're begging. And then I'm like, oh, Sister Wives. They're like, I've heard of it. And I literally always have to be like, you're thinking of the other group.
Yeah.
Does that happen to you?
Oh, no, never. I thought you were going to say,
Are
oh my
they
God, the
still
TLC show.
Are they still around?
The individuals, yeah.
Good.
Okay, but the group is gone.
Thank
Correct.
God.
But here's the thing. I think Sister Wives should make a return.
I have also thought about this.
I think it's time.
No, I think about that group all the time. I feel like there were so many like tips and tricks I learned from us doing the freaking thing.
I know.
Also, I talked about you yesterday.
Badly?
Never. You always have malintent associated with me, and I want you to know most times it's true, but this time it wasn't.
See, growth.
and-
We love it. We love to see it.
Yeah, because it used to be all times.
You have written truly so many incredible articles, headlines.
Thank you.
And we have a game kind of based on that today.
Oh my God.
You know it. You love it.
You know
Yes.
it. You know it. It's actually your favorite game.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that's
Deal or no deal?
We don't even need to explain the instructions, I don't think.
That's right.
Because you know it.
Well, listeners, in case this is your first episode you're tuning into,
Yeah.
we have a game we play on this podcast called Heaven or hell. And this is going to be a game where we are actually going to read you some different headlines inspired by you, okay? In kind of the style of Reductress.
And it's going to be like, fat bitch said this.
So basically, we're going to read some different headlines that are going to be about you, okay?
Aww.
And you are going to decide if this was a real headline posted about you on the internet. Is it heaven, hell, or if you're kind of indifferent, purgatory?
Breaking. Comedian bravely posts tickets available to my show tonight, y'all. Grab them quick. Day after assassination attempt. Post a day after assassination attempt.
God, that sounds so me, so I want to say heaven. However, I would never use the word y'all, so I think it's hell.
Okay. What would you use in its place?
Yeah.
You guys.
Okay.
I'm resistant to saying y'all because I just didn't grow up in a culture that.
Oh, interesting.
You didn't want to appropriate.
Here's the thing. I've actually been trying to
I didn't
say,
want to appropriate the word y'all.
I hate to be like this. I'm actually trying to use the word y'all a little bit more. Not to be like,
I haven't heard you use it once.
Well, because I am a you guys kind of girl.
Yeah.
I'm always saying you
Say
guys.
y'all right now. I'm going to hear
Y'all? I don't know. Okay, so that is
Everyone,
hell.
I'll use that one too.
That's hell because of y'all, but that is an accurate thing that you could have done. Slay. This gay man wore a retro unisuit to Fire Island and didn't get sunburned.
Heaven.
That's heaven. You would wear that?
I would wear like
I'm
a
talking
gorgeous
like retro.
jumpsuit.
Think like Dick Van Dyke in Mary Poppins.
Oh my God.
He's wearing a unisuit in one movie, and it's either that or Chitty Bang Bang.
I think it's Mary Poppins.
Okay.
Like
Yeah,
the
I've never
chimney
seen
sweep?
Chitty.
I've never seen either, but I've seen clips.
Oh my
That is so crazy.
Have you encountered this harrowing thing where it's like movies are like cut into 25 clips on TikTok?
Mm-hmm.
But I don't really
And then it's like
much.
One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest, hashtag 23. And
Oh,
it's like, 'cause
no.
there are 47 parts anyway.
Okay, you would like that.
Yeah, that's so funny that you use Dick Van Dyke because I was thinking more like ABBA.
But now, would you? Probably this headline is going to go with a picture. So, are you going to be okay with you in a unisuit on the internet?
Honey, they used much, much worse headlines with my face on them.
So true. Okay.
Number 3. Uh-oh. Self-described Brooklyn-based comedian actually lives in Queens.
Hell, I would never do that. I will always disclose my home to the public.
Good. And you do have a dress.
Yeah.
You have your address on
What's
there.
your address right now? Say
One
it.
World Trade.
Whoa!
Hell yeah.
I forgot that that's where you lived. Okay, next one. Quiz.
You're so good at this, like,
Quiz.
the variety of it.
Is he flirting with you or the only guy in your improv class?
Oh my God.
Now, Sterling was worried that you were going to think this was about your relationship.
I said no. I was just trying to add in all the different.
But she was trying to flirt
Wait,
with you.
no, that is
varieties.
so good. And it is, yeah. It's
I'm actually thinking of kind of a different
Heaven,
guy
for the
who
record.
actually, I think we've talked about who was in our improv class.
the guy who spit on me in a nonverbal scene.
What?
I actually don't.
I remember we had to do an exercise, and for the record, everyone, he's fine. He was on Mayor of Easttown. The teacher, Caroline Cotter, shout out, I loved her. She gave us an exercise where you had to start scenes non-verbally, like initiate an improvised scene. And he decided to do it by physically spitting on me.
Whoa, why am I not remembering this? This
Did it
feels
turn
like
you
You probably don't remember because it was a bad scene. There was no who, what, where yet.
Number 5. Brave. Man asks someone out on coffee date and orders the cold brew.
I want to say hell. I hate coffee dates. I don't do them.
Okay, I lived it. I went on a Euro trip with my friends, and no one wanted to have sex with us.
Heaven!
Because I want to say that happened to us. Do you think a single person in Europe wanted to have sex with us when they were there?
But at the same time, I don't know anyone who was having sex at first.
But you were exuding a lot of sexual energy. Remember when you rode the bull? Yeah.
I rode the bull. And for the record, it wasn't a mechanical bull. It was like a statue of a bull outside of a McDonald's in Edinburgh.
And he wrote it. So this is heaven for you.
Well, it was stationary. My acting was just so good.
Yeah,
that even
it
in
looked-
the most sedentary
Actually, I
state-
think I still have it on my phone.
Wallpaper?
Yeah,
It's my
moving.
wallpaper.
Wallpaper there must be.
So that's
I don't know why I said
heaven
that.
because you wouldn't want that.
No, because it's about my friends.
Mm.
And the craft of comedy, but
Yeah.
not sex.
So true. So true.
So it's heaven for you.
it's heaven.
Yes, it's heaven.
Okay.
This feels almost like an attack because I feel like this is something I would still have. Okay. Report. Man still has a My Panera membership in the year 2024.
Are we not supposed to anymore?
Well, after kind of Lemonade Gate, I didn't know the ethics.
Wait, what was Lemonade Gate?
Well,
Refresh my drink.
Didn't they kill? Well, refresh my drink. They were putting a lot of caffeine in that drink.
They had the like charged lemonade.
But it was like,
but that's not something I would get, so I'm fine.
Well, think of others.
Nah.
Okay.
You're like, I wouldn't smoke cigarettes, so I don't snort.
Do you still have a My Panera membership?
I must. It's probably dormant. I actually do have a $15 gift credit for Panera that I got like 2 years ago. And as you know, Panera is a dying industry. I can't even find one.
What?
There's still one over near the Amtrak station. Yeah.
Which some
like the one in Chelsea where we used to meet?
Yeah, which someone might call 34th Penn Station. Okay.
I'm just seeing the train station right now.
Here comes this real New Yorker telling us where Chelsea is.
I almost kind of hate this. I wrote this kind of last minute, but I don't know how I feel about it. Maybe I'll cut it.
No, those are always the ones that get picked.
Okay.
Yeah, do it.
Okay, last one. Sad. Random guy named Brandon discovers Let's Go Brandon's phrase isn't about him. How did you feel about that when it kind of...
Was it confusing? Because you were like, are they talking about me?
It just sucks when your name's a part of something.
Yeah, it sucks to be a part of something.
Well, it just sucks when your name's a part of something and it's not about you.
Yeah, for sure. So I was like annoyed because I was like, God, I'm never going to hear the end of this. And then it actually blew up on my face. No one talked about it with me. No,
you came to dinners expectant. You're like, okay, elephant in the room. No one said a thing.
Yeah. I'm like, hello, Dark Brandon.
So Brandon,
yeah,
you're sweating.
Yeah.
Turning red.
But your hair is dry.
Yeah, it's that time of the podcast.
Time for the exorcism.
The time where you have a story for us where it's hard to tell if you are in the right or the wrong. And Blair and I are etiquette experts, so we are going to decide if you exhibited good or bad behavior. So whenever you're ready, tell us your story.
I have been living in the same apartment in Brooklyn since 2019, and
You're welcome.
Thank you. At the time, I had lived with I moved in with one friend who was already living there. He moved out.
Okay.
And then I found a new roommate off of Craigslist, and we lived together for 2 years. Awesome. Love the guy. He and his girlfriend were moving in the beginning of the year in 2022 in January.
Okay.
So and it was in the middle of our lease. We needed to find a sublet. No worries. I get whatever. Like, her lease was ending at a weird time, so it worked out. Whatever. And I don't know if you two have ever been 22, but it's very difficult.
It's been so long, I don't remember
in January, February. So like it's slim pickings. No one's really looking for housing.
Yeah.
Vice versa, the sublet pool isn't awesome either. So we found this person on Roomie, and I will be using non-descriptive terms to describe this person because they frighten me.
Okay, great.
To this day. However, I have them blocked and everything, so I hope this podcast ever comes away. I'm sorry to cost you a listener. Anyway, I didn't want it to be like this. I swear to God.
Yeah.
When you started this podcast, I was like, I want this to be an inclusive community.
Of course.
Right.
We're cycling through a couple people. People are very wishy-washy in New York housing. We did find this one person who was moving from outside of Los Angeles. This person used to work for like Citibank or something for like 10 years. They were about to buy a house, and then I guess the person who was brokering the house like fell through. So they were like, you know what? I also do food blogging. I'm going to travel the world. And then they were like, when I come back, I'm going to live in New York. So they came back around the time we were looking for a sublet. And they were like, I quit my job. Like, I wanted to like find some housing first and then like apply for a job and then move my stuff from California. And I was like, yeah, that's so normal. And then we got dinner. This person is very normal. I was also getting pressured by my old roommate to find someone immediately. So I was like, you know what? There are a couple of red flags here, but you're fine. This person was also claimed to be staying on their friend's keyword, to be staying on their friend's couch on the Upper East Side for like 2 weeks.
Okay.
And then I later learned that this person stayed on the couch for like 3 days before their friend kicked them out. And then they stayed in a weird Airbnb where they were like getting to a fight with the host and whatnot, which is not their problem. I do think Airbnb is a sinister corporation. And needed housing pretty badly. So this person moved in. And the idea was like they're going to move in and then ship their stuff here. They've got like tens of thousands, not hundreds of thousands of savings because they were about to buy a house. And then they were also going to apply for a job once they had an address. So they moved in and they were like, I'm like waiting to like find a job. And also like, I don't want to pay a lot for the shipping. So I'm trying to find a way to do it for free. So ultimately what ended up happening was this person was just like, paying rent, but like, kind of just like using everything in the apartment, like there all the time. And then I think when things really started getting weird was, so I used to do Zoom therapy. And I was like, hey, like, I'm going to be doing this in my room Tuesdays from 4 to 4:45. Like, do you mind, like, because also the way that our kitchen table was set up was, like, right outside of my room. And this person was always on their laptop at the table. Whatever. It's a common space.
Yeah.
And I was like, do you mind not being near my room for like an hour? Like, you know, go into your room with the headphones on, or like go for a walk, like plan your day around so like you can go to the grocery store during that time. And they were like, how dare you tell me how to live in my space? Like that type of verbiage. And I was like, okay, well, now you're going to be sitting next to me talking about you. So.
You're like, you chose this path, bud. Okay.
Yeah, orchestra seats, bitch. Let's go. Overture's playing. And so that started. And then time came to renew the lease. And usually my landlord sends a letter in the mail that's like, if a rent increase, here's what the amount is. If you want to do 1 year, 2 year, everyone needs to sign it. Yeah. And I was like, I don't really like this person, because they're just kind of like quiet and sitting around my room all the time and just kind of using my stuff and like don't have any plans to like make this like a cohabitated home. Yeah. And then 2, this person doesn't have a job and I don't know what their bank balances are. So, and I don't really know this person. And I do have a friend who I've been trying to live with for years, and like the timing just worked out. Yeah. So the letter came in the mail and I was like, hey, I don't think I want to live with you. I'm not going to sign a lease with you. I don't know you that well. And also like, it sounds like you're still figuring a couple things out. However, I've lived here at this point for like 4 years and my friend wants to move in. And this person was like, cool, well, I refuse to move out. And
squatters'
I'm like,
rights.
I mean, listen, they had a legal case. Like,
I mean,
they knew their tenants' rights, and you know those are there for a reason. I gotta support that. And then when so all that's happening.
But they were never on the lease. They were subletting from you.
It was a sublease.
Okay.
Did your building allow sublets, or did they? Okay.
Yeah.
But it was a sublease through your building or just through your old roommate?
Through the building.
Okay.
We can leave legality stuff in the footnotes of this.
Well, we're all 3 lawyers, so that's why we're just.
Oh my God, I always forget that about myself.
I know. We have got to use those degrees.
We should have called ourselves Esquires. This person was like, fucked up, you're not kicking me out. And I was like, I'm not kicking you out. I'm just saying I would like to continue living here and with my friend, and I'm not going to sign a lease with you. So like, what does that look like?
Yeah.
So I told the landlord all of this because I was like, hey, I'm not going to sign a lease with this person. Like, you know, this is what I want to do. Like, my friend has like documents and whatnot ready. And the landlord was like, well, unfortunately, like, we're going to have to terminate the lease, and then you're both going to have to apply for the apartment. So like, there's going to be at least 1 month where you can't live in it. And also like, we are like able to increase the rent once it's back in the market. And I'm like, this sucks. And then I was leaving for a trip, and then this person forged my signature on the letter saying that I was moving out. The landlord called me and he was like, we got this letter. But it was so weird because you said you were not leaving. And I was like, that's correct. And then I came back and I confronted the roommate.
So you said, I didn't send that letter. Someone must have forged my signature.
Yeah.
What age are we talking?
Older than me. So there's a lot of
you were
ages.
really young.
Okay.
20s, 30s,
sorry, I'm just
40s?
trying to think of big numbers. Like, I think at the time, 35, 36.
Okay.
Anyway, yeah, they forged my signature, and then I confronted them about it, and I was like, hey, the landlord got a letter claiming to have my signature on it. That wasn't mine. I left. This was on the kitchen table, unsigned by both of us. And they didn't really acknowledge it. And then I was like, okay, just so you know, like, I talked to the landlord, and he was saying that, like, we're going to have to reapply for the apartment. And this person was like, that's fine. I actually have enough money to, like, live here on my own. Like, oh, and the other thing I was saying was, like, what are you going to do when you, like, apply for the apartment? You don't even have, like, proof of employment or income.
Yeah.
And they were like, I'm just going to transfer money from my savings to my checkings and make it look like a pay stub. So then I told the landlord this. Narc alert. What ended up happening was this person had a friend, I guess, back in California who ran a shipping company. So they were, like, shipping all their things from their parents' home in installments. Mm-hmm. So everything finally arrived, and it was just boxes everywhere. One time I got yelled at because I picked the boxes up and put them on the table to clean the floors. And they were like, don't touch my stuff. And I'm like, oh.
And how many days away are we from the lease ending at this point?
2 months.
Okay.
The thing that really bothered me was this person brought their desk and like a really nice like ergonomic like office chair. And it was just like in the middle of the living room.
This person sounds crazy.
Yeah, I'm scared for you. I can't believe you made it out alive. Okay.
I know, me neither.
Do you have a protective order?
Isn't blocking just that?
But it's legal.
Okay, so the desk is in the middle of the living room.
Right. And for the record, I don't want anyone to have a job. Like, I'm not begging everyone to, like, contribute to the economy.
Sure.
I think it's fucked up. But I do want your fucking shit in your room.
Yeah.
Okay, so then when things got messy, was I wasn't drinking for a while. And then one time I went to a work happy hour, everything was paid for. And of course, I was pissed off about just kind of life in general. You know how things are. And I was so drunk and I came home and it was like Home Alone. And I was like, fuck this fucking bitch, dumb shit. I drunkenly threw out the chair. I took the office chair, I rolled it down to the apartment, and I threw it across the street, and I said, fuck this. And then went to bed. Woke up, and the person was like, where's my chair? And I was like, I don't know. I don't know where your chair went. Oh, it might be outside. Have you checked? And then the person left the apartment, and then I got a call from the landlord that was like, they said you were like verbally abusive and like they got home last night and like the stovetop was on and like the fire detector was going off. And I'm like, I was drunk when I'm not like dead.
Yeah.
So, and then I was like, well, there's nothing anyone can do to prove any of that. My stove is off. And the other thing too, there were like 3 other like units in the building. So they were like, we didn't hear any, like no one reported any yelling. Like usually don't make noise. And I'm like, yeah, totally. Like this is the forging the signature thing.
Yeah.
They, I guess, like found like security footage from the building next door, and they were like, we saw you like throw the chair.
Oh my God.
Who saw this?
So the old roommate got access to the footage.
Okay, the old roommate. Okay.
Oh my word.
And they were like, if you pay for the chair and my moving expenses, then I won't press charges. And I'm like, great.
So they said, I won't press charges if you pay for my moving expenses.
And the chair.
To move out.
Yeah. Otherwise, I'll press charges. And I was like, yeah, it seems like a good deal. Anyway, this person signed a document saying that they were moving out. Lease is terminated. Mm-hmm. Then the landlord was like, great. We got them to sign it. If you want to stay, you can. And your friend can move in next month.
Amazing.
So all I had to do was be, I'll say it, a vandal.
And pay $1,000?
To keep my home.
Wow.
Were you so
Where
sad?
I started a family. I have kids there.
I know, and it's
I've
beautiful.
met them.
I know.
They're so old now.
Thank you.
They're growing so fast. Were you so sad to pay $1,000?
Oh, yeah, of course. It was devastating.
Yeah.
But then I was like, this is the cost of being a criminal.
But moving to move just $1,000, I'm like, they kind of had you in a situation where they could have really asked for more money.
I know.
So, okay,
yeah,
you
so
had
the
a friend.
landlord
How
told me-
bad was your diarrhea during this time?
Were you locking your bedroom door at night?
I'm usually not a diuretic person.
That's amazing.
That's peeing.
You're right.
Were you locking your bedroom door in the middle of the night?
I didn't have a lock.
Oh.
Oh my God. I also forgot. Okay, so like during the period in between like the chair getting thrown out and this person leaving, they weren't I don't know where they were saying. There was a whole weekend where they weren't coming home. Mm-hmm. And usually like I lock the deadbolt like at night after everyone's home for the night.
Yeah.
But I don't have a key. No one has a key to it.
Yeah.
So which is why I do it once everyone's inside.
Yeah.
And I was like, I guess this person moved out, so I locked the deadbolt. I wake up to the police.
No.
Yeah. They were like, you can't change the locks. And I'm like, I didn't change the locks. Like, this person hasn't been home in days and they haven't communicated anything with me. And they were like, and don't touch their stuff. And I'm like,
What?
And then I saw the cops slip this person a contact card, a business card, LLC. And
Were these actors?
Wait, what?
Oh my God! It was the guy from Blue Bloods.
What? So wait,
It was Tom Selleck.
Your roommate was in the street with the cops
At the door.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and then they just
Woke me up.
then they just came in for the night.
Cops fucking woke me up in the middle of the night.
They just came in.
They were like,
thanks.
You need to learn a lesson.
They were like, thanks, boys, and then you guys just like went and brushed your teeth next to each other.
I think I just went back to bed. Well, back to bed. I
And
was
then
like shaking to my core that the cops
Yeah.
were like at my home.
And then you woke up in the morning, and then you're like, "Good morning."
I think they were gone again when I woke up because I was like, I don't want to talk to this person. They just fucking called the cops in my home, like for a deadbolt. Where I'm like, call me. Like,
And it also
call
like
me.
literally could have been a mistake.
I only locked the deadbolt because I don't want cops showing up to my
This
apartment.
is so crazy.
I
dude.
hated the fact that they were like, don't change the locks. And I'm like, I don't have the capability of changing the locks.
Yeah. And again, the big reveal is you still live there to this day.
Yeah.
It's just so crazy that this...
I always feel guilty. Well, I do feel guilty that I like got so drunk and threw out someone's property. That's where I'm like, the moral ambiguity.
I just feel like
the thing is, you shouldn't have that stuff built up.
I think the forging of the signature is way worse. I can't even believe your landlord, because that is, with my law degree, I know, a federal crime.
Yeah.
State crime? Federal? Local? I'll go back to
National.
school.
Well, what I want to know is, what did the signature look like? Was it even close to yours?
I think it was close to mine because they had a copy of the lease.
And again, were they like, what was the communication like? They were like, okay, it ended up being $1,000 for the chair. Like,
then never talked again.
Okay, and they moved
blocked
out.
on all socials.
So basically, our moral conundrum today is it okay
that you ruined someone's life and made them leave their home?
Is it okay to kind of do a light vandalism to an absolute, I hate to use this word, psychopath that happens to be your roommate in order to stay in one's home? A classic conundrum, some might say.
Yeah.
Now, I really feel like in New York City, I have had a lot of roommates as well. And I've had a lot of like Craigslist, just people coming in, and you never know what you're going to get. Sometimes great. Sometimes like, you're like, how have you existed as a human, right? You're like, you can like think of a spectrum of crazy, and then you're like, whoa, I couldn't even imagine, you know?
Yeah.
And so some of it is like Taylor's Oldest Time, you know, like it's like, oh, it's like a classic New York City moment. Like, thank God you had that, because, you know, you wouldn't have lived such a classic New York City tale if you hadn't had a crazy roommate.
That's true.
You know, and I'm sure it brought some character. Did you end up using some of this material in your live stand-up?
No, because I'm terrified of this person.
So you haven't even really been able to use it for a good creative outlet?
No, I guess other than
Brandon,
a
you should
film screenplay.
Are you still living in fear?
I was going to say you should write a horror movie based on this.
I might, now that I think about
Jordan
it.
Peele horror movie kind of vibes. Okay. I think
I'm always scared too of this person that they have the like security footage of me throwing at a chair that'll like somehow get leaked. So I kind of imagine if I ever did become like an A-list celebrity, I'd have to have my team have this person sign an NDA.
Are you getting choked up?
Yeah, I'm just thinking about my hopes and dreams again because they're so accessible.
Don't you just feel like everyone has done light vandalism?
I've never.
I will actually share that. Sorry, not to interrupt you both. As a man, can I take up space here?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, this again. I will say once I started sharing my story out with the world, a lot of people confessed to light vandalism.
I think light vandalism is fine.
I don't think any context in which we've used the word vandalism is accurate.
Right, because you literally actually just
it was actually theft.
I think everyone's like imagining me like spray painting the.
It's also like, who cares?
There's like a mural of Biggie Smalls.
Like, I don't think even at your most powerful, say you're running for the president of the United States,
which I am,
which you are. That like a video of you like throwing a chair, throwing a chair across the street. Maybe if it hit a baby, you know.
Yeah. There was a baby in the chair.
Okay, I just don't think.
But I really strapped her in so that way she would shake.
Okay, well that's good.
I just don't think that could ever cancel you. A video of you throwing a chair.
I mean, I don't know. Once the story gets out, it could.
Is it a water I want to test?
I don't know. I just think there's so many things of everyone online that, like, Big Chair is going to be like, comes out with a statement like, we're not going to work with Brandon.
He's anti-chair, yeah.
You know?
I lose my chair.
Corporate America is like, what the hell? I don't know. I really wouldn't be worried even if you become, you know, A-list, that this could destroy you.
That's so true.
I really think that if you imagine this, there are so many A-listers that are, no offense, doing the craziest things you've ever heard of, that could so be canceled in a single second. And they're going to get your chair video and laugh in your face to think you'd be canceled over it.
I've actually never seen the video. And at this point, maybe I'm like...
I think it's
also, you're literally like this. I was drunk in my 20s. Tell me that's a crime. You're over 21.
I was 29, yeah. Thank God, right?
And that would be
right under the wire.
Right under the wire. By 30, arrested.
Well, you just...
Anyways, okay, I think I have my verdict. Okay. Blair, how are you feeling?
Yeah, I think it's a clear-cut case.
I think it's a clear-cut
I don't think there needs to be much debate on this.
Yeah. Okay, you go. Do you want to go? Or
yeah, bad behavior. No, you lived with a psychopath.
Yeah.
I mean, the fact that you didn't do more sooner...
I would have lost... If someone sent the cops to me in the middle of the night, I mean, just like the amount of stuff they're doing. Also, like literally the tiniest request of like, hey, I'm in therapy. Could you just like go into your room? Like the amount of every single roommate I've ever had, I'm like, oh, just hey, FYI, I have therapy. If you don't want to be like listening at my door at like your usual thing.
I wasn't
like,
asking them to like
so crazy.
Go to New Jersey.
Right.
Like
it's like, could you just not be like right outside my door? Like also it's like even if you're not talking about them, like
sitting at
therapy is literally supposed to be famously one-on-one.
Yeah.
And
I think if anyone has bad behavior, I think it's the psychopath because like they were like a con artist, but not totally good at it because they were like, oh yeah, he was yelling at me, but like didn't go the extra mile to create that.
I never yelled either. When I'm like mad, I don't yell. I just like my voice just gets like really high pitched and I just kind of talk so fast because I really want to feel so superior to that person.
Yeah.
And I maybe I should express my anger more so that way when it have happened in such a high pressure scenario.
Yeah.
Brandon, you've officially been deemed
good behavior.
And we have a little award speech for you to read out loud because we know how nervous you get when you get awards.
Yeah. I just don't like to sit up there and improvise.
Yeah.
I thank my agents. Wow. Finally, after years, my hard work is being acknowledged by the two of you. It was always, Brandon, your sketches have so many words to memorize, or Brandon, stop flirting with my mom. Okay. Emily's mom is cool as hell. But finally, with this award, you guys can see me for who I really am, and that is the most perfect little boy in the world.
Wow.
That's got to feel so freeing.
Sorry, I'm just spell checking this to make sure.
I honestly didn't, so I don't know.
Well, hopefully you can go out into the world.
I was a really
confident.
good sport about it.
Yeah.
No, I'm gonna go out there easy breezy cover.
And maybe one day
you'll run into Maybe
you'll run into this person. And you could hug and just like really hash it out. Wouldn't that be great?
I always wonder what would happen if we encountered each person in real life.
I think you would say nothing. Now, before we wrap up, can you tell listeners where they can follow you, any upcoming shows to plug?
Yes. I am on Instagram at Brandon_Follick. Mm-hmm. I'm on Twitter, Follic Acid.
Classic.
Kind of a science fun, yeah. I was a biology major. Real ones we'll remember from season 1. Wasn't on season 1. And my email.
Yeah.
Okay. And is there anything I want to plug? I have a show coming up. August
Amazing.
Okay. Yeah. Great.
Congrats.
Thank you so much.
August 21st at Club Coming.
Ooh.
I think it's 8 p.m., so you should probably get there at 7.
Yeah.
And it will break fire code once again. And no, this is our first time doing a Club Coming. It's usually a Littlefield.
Amazing. So
fun.
fun.
So we're diversifying our portfolio.
Is it called Rise and Shine?
Yes, it's called Rise and Shine.
Amazing.
How did you know?
Because she's
stalking
you.
For years.
Well, thank you.
I'm so sorry I keep looking at the cameraman. It's just that he's so hot.
I know he's so hot.
And your nephew.
Well. And that's our show. Thanks so much for listening today.
We absolutely hate to do this. We hate it.
But it would mean the world to us if you can subscribe to the podcast wherever you get podcasts, rate and review.
Follow us at Bad Behavior NYC on Instagram and TikTok. Thanks again for listening.
And remember, whatever your moral status, we are always here to judge. Bye. Do you think that was good?